You know, I don't use this often, but give me 1 second.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to my channel. This is Allie at Heart and Soul Connected, and you asked for it, you got it. Today we're here with Miliou, psychic medium, and I'm thrilled to say that I've been a follower of his probably from the very first of coming on to YouTube.
Thank
So
you.
thank you, Miliou. Thank you
You're
for
very
coming.
welcome. Can everyone
Very
see
much.
me? Can they see me? I'm not sure.
I think so.
Can the
Lynn, can
audience
you see him okay? Can you give him a heads up? I think everybody can hear you and see you. I
Okay,
can,
great.
that's for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
You look good in purple. That's a good color for you, Milo.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I have lots of questions. I just
Okay.
tuned into your for me it's 9 a.m. For you it's noontime show,
Yes.
which I always love listening to, especially when you talk about Melania. Oh my
Oh.
goodness. Oh gosh, do you ever see her leaving him, or is she just gonna stay?
You know, as you asked the question,
Hmm.
if he is going to leave Trump, it will be before he goes to jail.
That makes sense. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it feels like. You know,
that's
I
what it
never
feels
thought
like.
about that before. You're right. I never thought about that before.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
because if you notice, she does anything he does, she follows.
yes,
She goes along
yeah.
with it.
She's just as complicit as he is, I think.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
definitely.
the problem. That's
Right.
why I feel she won't let go of him,
Yeah.
regardless of something.
Unless,
She loved being in the White House. She loved the
uh-huh.
power. She loved the perks, and she
Right.
thinks that there may be a way of, regardless of what the word is on the streets. The
Hmm.
only reason why she doesn't want to go is because she knows she's not well viewed. That's it. She's not
She's no
liked.
Jill
She's not well
Biden.
viewed.
Jill Biden is and Michelle Obama were so gracious, and she was
Yes.
just, yeah, she didn't know how to play the part, but
No, but
she was
it's
a
just
stripper.
I don't know what I don't know if she was a stripper, but she did not make a good impression at all.
No, she did not. Yeah,
You
and
know.
she continued to do that, especially when she destroyed that rose garden. That to do
Oh
what
my
she wanted
God.
to. Oh, that was awful.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
very much
not
so.
good. I'm
No,
trying to
not at
see if
all.
I can, like, yeah.
Yeah, because that had been in there for what, 40 or 40, 50 years, something like that. I think it was from
It's
Jackie
been there a
Kennedy.
while.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, definitely,
It's been
definitely.
there a while.
Oh,
So yeah, she's not
yeah.
like.
No, I know. Well, I want to go back a little bit, go backwards a little bit, because I just jumped
Go.
in with that. But I know that your family is from Haiti, I believe.
Yes.
And
Yes,
when
I
they
was
had
born
that
in Haiti.
terrible thing in Haiti, I
That's right.
was thinking about you and hoping everybody was okay. That's still there.
Yes, yes, because this time, funny, the hurricane a couple of years ago that leveled everything
Hmm.
happened in the town where my father was born. So everybody came out okay there.
Uh-huh.
And this time, the
It's your
earthquake,
mother's?
yeah. So, and I
Oh
haven't
my
heard
God.
anything. And I spoke to
Okay.
one of my cousins down there a couple of weeks ago. Well, right after
Right after it
it
happened. Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't. He didn't say anything about any death, and no one else told me. So I'm keeping my fingers
Good.
crossed since I haven't heard. So by this time, I
That's
think I would have heard something.
I definitely, yeah, I
So
think so.
far, so
Some way
good.
or
Keeping
another.
my fingers crossed. Yes. Thank
Absolutely.
you for
Yeah.
asking. Yeah.
Oh, of course. So when did your family come to the United States from Haiti? When you were a
My
little boy?
father came first. No, I was about 15,
Oh,
16.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
father came first because he had to leave the country, and
Mm-hmm.
then it was 1968. I believe my father 67, 68,
Okay.
and then in late 70s I came. So
Okay.
uh, I've been here a while. I've
You
never
have?
been back either.
You have
Yeah,
never been back. Okay.
I
Yeah.
was thinking the other day, if I were to go back, I wouldn't be able to find my way
No,
because
I know,
I'm
because it
going
would be so
to.
built up. Yeah, or different.
No, it's
Yeah,
not built
different.
up. It's different
Uh-huh. Okay.
because
Yeah,
due to poverty,
sure.
all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff going on
Weather
down there.
related. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
whether
true.
from what I understand, well, even some of my sisters who have gone back at least once or twice,
Mm-hmm.
and unless maybe about after 15 years or so, they did not recognize.
No, right. Yeah. It's like a
Yeah,
new place. Yeah, I bet.
exactly. You
Yeah.
don't know whether you are up or down. You have no idea, and you are used to being here.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
expectations are different. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Sure. Yes, I
So yeah,
know. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
difficult.
That looks
But
very poverty ridden down there compared to even
oh
the
my
poverty
God.
situations here, I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
No, there is no comparison
There
between
isn't.
there and
Yeah.
here now. It's not the
Uh-huh.
same thing.
Sure.
I can't, I mean, here you don't see people pushing those, I believe they call them the two-wheel carts. They have two wheels and the person it's about,
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. I know what
and they
you're talking
push it.
about. They have them in
And
India. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are still using those things in
They
India
are.
as well, and Haiti.
Right.
I was looking at a video not too long ago about something that was going on down there, and it was so heart wrenching
Oh
to
yeah.
see a man pulling that stuff.
Right.
Can you
Yep.
imagine?
Um, and
Uh,
a tourist or something gets in there, a big fat American, and they're pulling it, and they're not even
oh
that
no,
big.
no,
Yeah,
they're
a
not that big.
rickshaw. That's what it is. That a
How do,
rickshaw.
exactly? I believe that's how they call
Yeah.
it. Quick show.
Yep.
Thank you,
Thank you,
somebody
watcher.
watching at
Yeah.
97.
Yeah.
Oh my God! When I was young, when I was down there growing up, you didn't realize how bad
Sure.
having to do a job like that is until you come, until you grow up. In my case,
Right.
after I came here, and I didn't see something like that in a long time,
Yeah.
and it was shocking because it
Yes.
took me back to when I was there. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, it never crossed my mind when I
Never
was there.
crossed
You
your
feel
mind.
bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it is, but it is heart wrenching. Somebody have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, or even before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
depending on where they have to go, where they have to take whatever it is they are transporting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough job. I remember somebody that used to come and deliver goods to my mom used to own a store. I still remember
Mm-hmm.
his name. His name is Andre.
Okay.
Yeah, Andre used to use one of those things to bring merchandise from some farm not too far away from where I used to live and where my mom had the store.
Mm-hmm.
At the
Mm-hmm.
time you're a kid, you're running around, you're watching the person do that. You don't think.
Right. Right.
Until the other day, I was seeing those that guy doing the same thing, and I remember Andre, and I felt so terrible because I didn't know. You're a kid,
No, you didn't know. Yeah. Yeah.
But
And
it's
and they
not
do it
an easy
until they
job.
really can't. They do it right through their old age if they have to, and that
Yeah,
has to be awful for those people. Yeah.
exactly. There is
Yeah.
no. It's not like here. You
Yeah.
can do with everyone. You go to school or whatever you have to do. You stay hungry and you work hard and you get to where you want to be.
Right.
Down
Right.
there, it's and also there's a class system. I don't know how if it's still the same, but when I
Mm-hmm.
was down there, it was still the same.
It
There was
was.
on top of the poverty, there's a class thing. It's very difficult to break.
Sure. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
through that, it's from what I understand, they have the same thing in India.
They
You
do.
know,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
are born, somewhere, below the middle,
Mm-hmm.
it's very difficult to break through. Whereas in this
Sure.
country, they celebrate it. Down there, you still carry
The karma or something. Yeah.
yeah, I can't
Yeah,
think of the
of
right
the
word right
family.
now. The
Yeah.
stigma, the
The
stigma
stigma. Right. Right.
of being born from
In
a
a
poor
lower
family.
caste.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know if it's still the same,
Mm-hmm.
but all those things were playing on my mind when I when I saw that. It's very sad. But anyway,
It is. It is. And it's
is.
had a hard, you've had down in Haiti, they've had such a hard governmental problem with the Duvaliers, and now this president was assassinated in his bed,
Yeah.
and just really
Well,
sad.
you
Yeah.
know, talking about class,
Hmm.
that guy who was assassinated, the president that was assassinated, he was from the Cap Haitian. That's where I was born.
Okay.
And I don't remember how old I was. My mom and dad, they went to the capital. They moved to the capital.
Hmm.
You know, I was reading, he was still carrying the stigma that he wasn't born in the capital. He was not from the capital. He was not a
Oh,
member of that team. I was shocked to read about that same old thing was still there.
that's so sad.
Yeah.
Wow.
So can you imagine if you were born like in an environment like Andre? His kids will never be.
It will never change. Yeah.
At least it's going to be difficult. They can go to school, but even the schools, you got to have money. It takes a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah.
Pushing those things before you can
Sure.
put a kid through school.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
So it is tough down there.
it is. So
Yeah.
it sounds like your dad made the right decision in bringing you all over
Yes,
here.
I consider
Yeah.
myself lucky.
Very lucky. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, because I probably wouldn't be alive. Because
Maybe not.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't know. Well, that's why they rushed. My father rushed to get me here because I was driving a car. I mean, I didn't have a license. You're a kid. You just
Yeah,
take the car
right.
and you go out. You don't know.
Uh-huh.
That's why I said I could have gotten killed. Somebody wanted the car because they liked it. So they took it and I left. He could have shot me. He could have shot me at the time, but I left. But I got lucky. Papa Doc's son had a band and my friends were in the band. So they called the proper people. That's how I was able to get the car back. So can you imagine?
Wow. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
They could have. It was broad daylight in the afternoon. I was driving. He stopped me. He told me to get out. He didn't even ask me for a license or anything like that. He just wanted the car. But
Right.
I'm glad I knew. And my mom didn't even know I took the car. So when you're a kid, I was about 15.
You do all kinds of things. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can find yourself dead, for no reason.
Sure.
And,
For no reason.
knowing that, I tend to talk and ask questions about different things.
Mhm.
I could be talking to somebody, ask the wrong questions and
Yeah.
get killed too.
We don't want you around anymore, so we'll just kill you. Oh, God. That's awful. Oh, I'm glad that didn't happen. Yeah.
No, thank God.
So you say in the beginning of most of your shows that you are a psychic, you are a medium, and that you were born clairvoyant.
Yes.
And you have also mentioned, I believe, that at least one of your sisters is also clairvoyant. Is that right?
No, she's not clairvoyant. She uses cards.
She's okay. So she's a reader. All right.
She's a reader.
How did you know? What was your first experience that something happened? And were you really tiny, or were you like?
No. I mean, thinking back, that's when at the time I didn't know what it was. You're like everyone else. You think.
Sure.
I thought the things that I could say about other people, anybody could have said it about anyone, about me too. Until you grow up, you realize,
you're different.
They're not like you. So when that happens, you leave it alone,
right?
And because you become to look weird, because people look at you like, So after I came here, even my closest friends, I never told anybody.
Oh, okay.
And, I went to high school, and it wasn't until I went to college, and I had a group of friends, and we went to a party on this. We were going to a party in Kisco, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And before I left, I said, we're gonna get stopped by the police tonight, so we better not speed. Oh, they ignored me.
Yeah, right. At their
On,
peril.
yeah, on our
Yeah.
way back, I was with a lady that I was dating at the time. I said, I'm not gonna follow them and keep try to keep up with them because they were speeding.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sure enough, at the entrance of 287 in New York and in Westchester County, really, White Plains, and
Uh-huh.
287 and the Hutchinson Parkway, there is an entrance there to get into the Hutch. That's
Yeah.
where they stopped them. And then, I don't know how long after that, I drove by, I saw them, and I was looking at them, and I was smiling. So
Better
that's
listen to
when,
Milou next time.
yes. So that's when they asked me, "How did you know that?" I still didn't say anything.
Sure.
The way they found out, I mean, I started doing it for friends, really.
Uh-huh.
A friend of mine, in fact, I taught her husband to drive. She came down with stomach cancer, and I told a lady that was like a mother to me at the time. She's no longer with us, and I said she's not going to survive. And everyone was hoping or thought she was going to, and she didn't survive. And everybody, how do you know? And then they figured out something was,
Something was
because I
different.
used to do, when when you have this thing, you can say things, you're not even paying attention, you just say things.
Right. Right.
And then
Yeah.
they happen. And that's how you know. And then after that, when people ask me, well, how long have you had these things? And I start remembering way back. And they figure out, when I was in school, I used to do these things, and I never really was fond of school because, if you are an intuitive, you're picking up what people are thinking, how they're viewing
Yes.
you,
Yeah.
what they are
Yeah.
up to, their lives. Okay. And when you're a kid, you're playing, it's fun until you
Yeah.
suppress it. You say, okay, you're not going to do it anymore because you don't want to be like everyone else. You want to
Right.
be like everyone else.
Like everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I don't know how old I was, but I was pretty young. I don't know how old, but I remember the school I was in. I remember the teachers I didn't like, and I remember I used to be able to tell when they were not gonna come to teach. So I would tell the other kids that the teacher is not coming today, so we can have fun. So that's how I made the connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I started doing this, yeah. But I did not know what it was at the time. But when I grew up, my mom knew because my mom is psychic as well. Well, she's 96 now; she can't do it anymore. But
that's cool.
how. Yeah, that's how they know.
Right.
Or, they told me, but it didn't. You don't pay. You don't.
Don't pay attention. Wow. So, do you hear, see, smell, taste, or all of those things? How do you, or you just know? You just know.
I just know, and I smell rarely. When you say that, I remember once my father used to smoke cigarettes. So, that's not something I get all the time. Smell. Taste as well, rarely. And I don't like it because it's usually associated with something bad.
Yeah.
But it's mostly a sense of knowing and seeing a lot of pictures. That's mostly
that's cool.
Most of the time, that's what I get.
That's what you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were young, you said you didn't pay too much attention to the gifts, but did you push them away? It doesn't sound like you pushed them away. It sounded like you just kind of
I just
okay.
didn't do it. Because after a while, after you say things and people look at you like,
I know.
There are things you get used to it.
Yeah.
And okay, you're not going to say this. You better not say anything. It's just like any kid here, if they like to talk and their parents say, shut up, And, there are certain things you better not say anything about. So it's the same thing when I was growing up. Yeah.
So I have a question from somebody in the chat. Lisa wants to know, do our gifts end when we get old?
No, until you can, my mom, well, I can go based on my mom.
Hmm.
My mom can read, but she can no longer focus like she used to.
Sure, sure.
Because
She
she's not
doesn't have dementia, does she? Does she have dementia?
slight dementia. She's
Slightly.
getting, yeah, she's
Okay.
getting a bit of dementia right now. That's why she can no longer focus like she used to. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Sure.
But sometimes she will come out and say things you're like, you know, she will
Yeah.
surprise us,
Sure.
but
Sure. Yeah.
mostly she doesn't do it anymore. Or if they put a glass of water in front of her, because she uses either water or a candle or both.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's how she
Yeah.
reads.
Cool.
So if there is water around, she may say something. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
but most of the
That's
time now
awesome.
she doesn't
She
do it like
doesn't.
she used to anymore. No,
Sure. Well, different
unfortunately for
mindset.
me. Unfortunately
Uh-huh.
for me.
Well,
I
have you
can't
ever
call
had,
her anymore. I mean,
have you ever,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I
sorry.
apologize.
That's okay. I just wonder if you ever were dating a woman and they knew you had gifts, if they were afraid you could read their minds.
Oh yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I remember two specific examples. One was that was in my late 20s, I think,
Hmm.
and she. I mean, we broke up. She left me, and after
Uh-huh.
that, she called me. No, I called her one day, and I said, "Are you going to get married?" She was shocked. She says, "How do you know?" Because I am eloping. And she goes, "Are you psychic?" I'm like, "Yeah." She says, "I always knew." She says she always knew
Oh,
that I was, because, like I said, when I was a kid, you
right.
know, it's the same thing. I was hiding this thing because I would read for my close friends, people in my area,
Right. Right.
but I would side, if I'm dating a woman, you would never know because I never told.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then she says, "Now I know why every time you used to say something, it used to happen. We couldn't figure it out." So, but
Oh, hello.
yeah, and at that time, I didn't. The reason why I called her was because I knew it was not going to work out. Sure
Oh.
enough, she told me the reason why I know is because she called me after she got divorced, because she wanted to apologize to me, which is I didn't care by the time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sure.
So
Mhm.
she and then I said, "Well, I knew it wasn't going to work out." She says, "Well, didn't you tell me?" I'm like, "Well, you would think I was jealous if I told you it wasn't going to work out."
Right. That's true.
Yeah,
No, it would have sounded that way. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another time, there is this woman. We never got serious because she became, well, that was stupid on my part. She became very afraid.
Oh.
She went shopping. She has three sons. And
Hmm.
after that, she called me. She says, "I'm going to stop by your house. We're going to go to the movies." I'm like, "Sure." And I said, "Who are those three guys you were with?" She says, "How do
Uh-huh.
you know?" I'm like, "Well, there's something I haven't told you. I was both
Uh-huh.
psychic." And she was so shocked. She says, "Those are my sons." And when she came over, and after that, she said she couldn't do it. She couldn't handle it. She couldn't deal with it because she said she's never, she think, like you said, people think you're going to be reading their minds all the time,
Right.
and
All the time.
who
Yeah.
wants to do that?
I
You know?
wondered about that. I'm glad I often wonder if people feel that way when they
Oh
find
yeah,
out. Yeah.
you'll be
Wow.
surprised. A lot more people. I mean, this is one of the examples that stand out. Other
Hmm.
people I told, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Yeah. I understand.
response is the same. They
Okay.
don't think they can handle something like that. You know,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, like, right. The reason why I told her is because I was doing it. In fact, I was doing it on AOL at that
Oh,
time.
okay.
I had, if like I said, people that I knew that knew me, and a few
Hmm.
clients, but I was doing it in chat rooms on AOL, and she used to
Uh-huh.
see me. She was
Oh,
wondering,
why
why.
you were there. Yeah.
So I had to tell her.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Wow.
That's what. Yeah, you're right. Dating, and if you're psychic, it's challenging.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm being told that when you talk, there's an echo. So I'm going to ask a question. Then I'm just going to mute myself so that it's got nothing to do with you. It's probably just coming through here. So I just want you to know it might take me a few seconds to come back. So,
Problem.
um, so when did you, I think you said you used to do live in-person readings when you lived in New York, New Jersey area. Is that right?
Oh yes, I used to do well. I was a member of the Edgar Casey. Uh, you know Edgar Casey, right? Okay, of the ARE. They had one in New York City, so I used to go there and do readings. I used to do group readings there. I used to meet clients there. I was one. How do they call us again? Practitioner. I was a practitioner there, and I used to go to. I went to Virginia Beach, and I did it at Virginia Beach. You know, that's where their main location is, the headquarters. They have an auditorium there. I don't know they had two. They had a building, a big build. Oh my God, they had three places at that. They had the main building. They had the school where Edgar Casey used to do readings and talk to clients, and then they had a house. It's like this, and the house was right in between like that. So I did readings for young kids. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing that. And New York City, I was there, for at least 9 or 10 years until they closed. Yeah, I used to practice there, and then I went to another place. I used to do reading there as well. They used to call it Meta Center. It was on 48th Street, I believe, and 7th Avenue. No, 43rd and 2nd Avenue, because ARE was in 40. 247 was 58th Street. It's on, Madison Square Garden. It's a street over. I can't remember the address right now. Between 7th, right, the street over from Madison Square Garden, and the Meta Center was 2 street down from Madison Square Garden. That's what I used to do. I used to do readings in both places live. Yeah. Oh yeah, it used to be fun.
That's fascinating. Both my husband and I were followers in the ARE. We used to do the Search for God meetings. Yes. And I absolutely loved all the information that I could get out of Edgar Casey. And they have books come out. Oh my God, they're wonderful.
You know what I saw? Have you ever been to his to the headquarters?
Yes, I lived in Virginia Beach for a while.
Oh my God,
1988. Yeah.
Did you see somebody after I did a live show once at the auditorium? Have you ever seen the bed where he used to lay down to do readings for people?
Oh no, I didn't. No.
Really? It's on the 2nd floor. Well, I don't know if it's still there. When I was there, it was on the 2nd floor. When you go up, there was a room. When you go in, it was on the right-hand side. You go in that little room. And then in the main office, they showed them to me too. I didn't touch them. Copies of his readings. They have a big safe. Yeah.
Oh, he was so precise about all his medical stuff, and He wasn't even a doctor. It was just amazing. Yeah.
They have copies of all his readings in that building. It's amazing. Yeah,
it is. It is. Oh, that's awesome.
It was like I missed the time when I was a practitioner at the place in the city. That place was a lot of fun too. Oh, the energy was, great. I enjoyed it. But New York City, I still miss the people that used to be around. When you have something, you don't appreciate it until it's no longer there. That's the problem with I'm having. Every once in a while it came back. I'm like, oh my God, I missed the place and the people.
I understand.
I understand. It was great. Yep. Yeah.
I had a group of people that I used to work with and doing all kinds of spiritual stuff when I lived in Florida, because I've lived in a lot of different places. I lived in Panama City.
Okay.
And that was back in the 90s. And I miss all those folks. So I really do feel like we've done the closest thing we can here on YouTube to bringing all these people together. They're just the subscribers and the channels are wonderful. So
yes.
Yeah, we do what we do in the times, the time we don't have any other choice,
You don't realize it until after, you're like, oh boy,
right. Yep.
I loved it. I miss it really.
I
Unfortunately,
bet
it's
you
no
do.
longer there. It got too expensive. That's what happened.
Sure. Sure.
New York City there
Oh,
was
yeah. Yeah.
about 10 years ago. Oh my God. It got so expensive. So a lot of places closed, like the Meta Center closed. That's why I no longer practice there. The ARE closed. That's why I no longer practice there. It was really bad at one point. Now, New York City, the real estate is bouncing back because of the pandemic. A lot of rental places, because that's what the ARE did. They rented a whole floor. So I heard the prices went down, but I don't think there is the lady that formed that center. In fact, she lives in Virginia Beach now. She's been living there for a while. So I don't know who would start something like that again in New York City, but it was great energy. It was a great place. I miss it.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about Florida.
Florida.
Florida. What you just moved there because when I was watching you, you had moved into an apartment, you had noisy neighbors, so you moved to
Yeah.
where you are now, and everything
Yes.
is better there where you
Oh
are? Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
it's nice. I mean, it's not as bad as the other one. This one is, oh my God, this one is no problem at all. I enjoy it. I love the weather. I can hop on the car and go for a ride. Whereas in New York, I would be concerned like right about now. Oh, November is right around the corner. It's gonna be cold. I don't miss the potholes either. So
Yes, it would be
yeah.
cold and you'd have to not park on the street anymore because,
Oh my
the
God.
plows and
Yeah.
all that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You gotta be
So
careful.
I have to ask you this, and I'm
Sure.
serious, but I'm kind of what is it like to live in Florida now? Because see, I don't even have any desire to ever go back there after this ding dong Ron and all his
Oh my
craziness.
God.
Yeah.
Well, me, it doesn't affect me much. And I
Okay.
made one of my brothers, he says, you're crazy to for moving to Florida. He said he would not move to Florida because of DeSantis and the number of people, Republicans. I'm not going to let these people dictate to me how I should live my life. And, because I work most of the time and I work from home, I still have, thank God, one of my sisters is in Georgia. And she has a house there, so family go and stay there. So if I don't want to be here, I can just take an 8-hour ride. Yes, it's a long ride, but I've done it back and forth in about 27 hours, so it's not too bad. That's why I don't feel it doesn't bother me being here. Georgia is no better than Florida either. The only difference is Camp. He's a little smarter than DeSantis. He's not going to confront, or he's not as confrontational as DeSantis. But my niece, who still goes to school, she's 11 now. My sister can't wait for her to be 12 to get vaccinated. They didn't, so the other kids didn't wear masks. She was wearing masks. Thank God the school now has a mandate that everyone wears a mask. But it's the same in Georgia as it is in Florida.
That's true, and the same in Texas in a lot of ways with these
Oh my
governors.
God. Yeah.
That's
That guy is, I don't know why Texas to me feels like far away. Texas and California. For some reason, I have that mental block. I mean, I'm thinking I want to go to California to visit one day because I heard it's beautiful, and obviously, when you see the videos about California. But for some reason, I have this mental thing. I can't see myself living in Texas, although I have one cousin and a nephew. I probably have my brother's sister-in-law is there. We have a couple of people there. I can't remember them all now. But for some reason, I have a mental block. I can't see myself living in Texas, nor California, because for some reason I feel it's too far. That may not be true. That's
I
the mental thing
understand.
I have.
No, I
Yeah.
understand. I've lived in Texas. I lived there. I've been all over the place, and I really didn't
Wow.
like it there. I was there 7 years, and for me, it was pure misery.
Really?
Yeah, I did well, number one, I'm not a hot person. I like it to be about 70. So
Oh, okay.
that's why
Yeah,
I live
7
in the
is good.
Seattle. Yes, I live in the Seattle area, and even though it can rain, it doesn't snow, and there are enough beautiful days that it's okay for me. But some of these
Really?
red states, I'm not interested in going back to. Even though,
Yes,
as you say, I don't involve myself in it. I stay at home or I do whatever I do from home. So,
right. But
yeah.
I am in the Palm Beach area. There are a lot of people from the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Every other person, I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. Marketing call. I'm sorry about that. Yes, even with mask. The other day I saw a guy drive. I cracked up a very expensive car, a Ferrari. In fact, he was wearing his mask while he was driving. So that's how extreme. I'm like, good for you. So
Really?
it's a little different here than. I mean, don't get me wrong. You have a bunch of Trumpists here too.
Oh, yeah.
They are all over the place. They have their flags, they have their, but mostly it seems like around here there are a lot of people from New Jersey, New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Well,
makes it a little more palatable.
sure. When
You
I
know?
was growing up, I grew up in New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, New Hampshire, everybody went to Florida to retire. So I understand it was up,
Okay.
and
Yes,
I
that's
know
true.
from yeah, they all went there.
Is that
But and
is
they're
that
all
still is that still the same thing?
I'm not
Because
sure. A
it
lot of them
feels
are at
like.
the villages. At the villages, those crazy
Yes,
places.
I heard. Oh
Yes,
my
yes,
God.
yes.
Oh, those are super conservative places from what I understand, the
Yes,
villages. Yes.
they are.
But my,
Yep.
my thing is, I'm wondering if Florida still has that label attached to it. If you retire, it's getting too expensive. I don't feel people are as attracted to coming down here as like before anymore, because everyone is complaining, and even articles and newspapers. Every once in a while, I'll read them. They complain about how expensive it has gotten compared to, I guess, 5, 10 years ago. Yeah, it's very expensive. In fact, you know what? I moved down here. It's more expensive for me than I was down there when I was in New Jersey.
It
Yeah.
is? Well, maybe
Yes.
because it's Palm Beach area. That is a kind of a ritzy place, isn't it? That's where a lot of the millionaires go, I think. Isn't
I
it?
thought, I thought, well, I thought that was where Trump lives. I was hoping, because, I'm not in the island, I am inland. I didn't want to be in the island. I mean, I don't know if you see the when I do the introduction to my show, those drives that I do, that's when I go to the island. Yeah. Let's not talk about that. So that's what I thought was super expensive.
Sure,
I thought,
that's where what's her name? The daughter lives, Ivanka, doesn't she?
oh
Live on the
yeah,
island? Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
But I thought that being I'm 15 miles in, because that's where I wanted to be. I didn't want to go any place near the ocean because of hurricanes and the like, water. So I thought this was going to be cheaper. It's not. And, I don't know if they have other places in Florida, but like I'm not moving to Miami, but like Miami, those areas, they are super expensive now. That's what I heard. And something, I've been here. Oh yeah, I've went to Miami once because one of my brothers, his mother-in-law passed. So I drove down there, and I didn't like it. But he told me, my brother told me, because he owns a property there, it's super expensive now. They call him every week asking him if he wants to sell his place. Yeah,
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
yeah.
Wow. I like West Coast. I mean, I lived in Panama City. I don't really mean that high up, but I like Fort Myers and Sanibel Island and Captiva Island and over
Oh
there in
yeah,
that Sarasota. Yeah, I really do. There's a different flavor over there, but they always
really?
say that a lot of people call it the land of the living dead because there's so many old people over there. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's true anymore, but
I
yeah,
don't, probably not. Probably
no.
not.
They probably all
because
died from COVID. Yeah.
what the thing is, a lot of people are moving from New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, up here.
Hmm.
So they go, like me, I didn't know. I have friends around here. They
Hmm.
said, you should come near us. I says, okay. And I have, in fact, a lady who used to work at the Meta Center where I used to practice. She lives in Boynton Beach. I was going to move to Boynton Beach. And then I realized, I'm like, oh, I see this little town. I said, then let me move here because I like the apartment that I saw. And that's why I moved here. But, oh my God, I thought it was going to be cheaper.
No,
Food
the
is not
northern part.
cheaper.
She's right.
What
The
about, what
northern
about,
part is cheaper. Yep.
really? The most expensive?
Yeah.
What about,
Yes.
what about gas?
Oh,
$4.
gasoline?
Yeah. I mean, well, I put super in my car. $4 a gallon.
$5? Did you say
$4 a
five?
gallon. No,
Four.
four.
Okay. Yeah.
$4 a gallon. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm pretty close to that out here. I'm like at 363 or something like that,
Really?
depending on, yeah. I'm just
Oh,
used to it. It's expensive, but I lived in the Boston area and it's pretty equal. So it's not,
Boston?
I live there too, yes.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
is gas that expensive in Boston?
I'm not sure about the gas, but the cost of living is very high.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
really?
Hmm.
Because New Jersey, I used to live in Mawa. You
Uh-huh.
know, the cost of living wasn't like it is here. You know, I mean, I'm not complaining, but I was thinking about it the other day. In fact, I'm like, oh my God, I was running away. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Florida because the apartments are cheaper, and they told me the food is cheaper. And I was looking forward to eating a lot of seafood.
That was
I mean,
before COVID, right? Everything got
yes,
more expensive.
that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
before COVID, and that threw a big monkey wrench. And people are bidding, even apartments now. If you're
Uh-huh.
looking for an apartment, somebody can
Yeah.
outbid you. They're asking, let's say, for example, 1,500 for a one bedroom. Somebody can come in and offer 1,800 for it, and you're out.
It's like a house when people buy a house. You're kidding. For an apartment, they do that?
Yes, I was shocked the other
Wow,
day. I
Milo.
read it. Yes, I read it the other day.
I had no
I
idea.
was shocked. Yes, I had no idea
Yeah.
either. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that was going on until the other day. Yes. Yeah, there's a bidding game going on for homes. How about those homes you mentioned on West Palm Beach? I mean, not West Palm Beach, Palm Beach Island. They
Oh,
are
yeah.
bidding each other out too. I mean,
Isn't
we're
Ivanka
talking about.
paying like $33,000 a month or something crazy like that
I
for
don't
her
know what
apartment?
she's paying.
Okay.
That's cheap for her.
Well, for her, yeah.
They own a house. They own a house. You
Oh,
know
they
what?
do. Okay.
They
Okay.
own two homes around here. What you are saying, that's probably where they stayed when they first left
Oh,
the
when they
White
first got there.
House.
Okay.
Because I remember something like that. I don't know how much they paid though, but I
Right.
remember they stayed someplace temporarily until the house was ready or something like that. But yeah, they purchased another home recently. Yeah. They
Wow.
do. Yeah,
So
they
let's do some fun hits and see what we get on a few
sure.
things. Is that okay?
Absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
really enjoying this, Milo. I could ask you questions for hours.
Thank you. I enjoy it too.
Oh, good. Um, all right. So, is Kim Jong-un dead, or is he
No,
he isn't. Is he on
no,
life support?
no.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Uh, I was looking at the gentleman that was on TV the other day.
Right.
It's him. I know that a lot of people feel it may not be him, or a relative. That came across too, and I was looking at him. The energy is the same to me.
Okay. Do you? Okay.
Yeah, to me. I may be wrong because let me tell you, as you know, we are all one in spirit. I
Right.
can confuse people within families.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a very small chance I can be wrong, but I think it's him because I
Okay.
was looking at his energy.
Mhm.
It's the same. The only thing now, he's a little more. I don't know if you noticed that the new Kim Jong-un, to me, with what I was picking up, he's more outgoing. He wants to show off.
Yeah.
I guess it's
Yeah.
his weight loss. That's what I
Hmm.
was. But it's
Yeah.
him.
Okay.
It is him.
Maybe that's what it is. The weight loss really throws you because he went from looking like the poppin' fresh doughboy
Yeah.
to more mature. I'm not saying real mature, but more
Right.
mature than he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you
So,
look at the suit he was wearing, if you look at his midsection,
hmm.
you can
Hmm.
tell it's somebody that lost weight. At least I could.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
for his, and we have to remember he's still very young.
He's
I
36 or something, isn't he? In his 30s
Yeah,
still? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So it's he can lose weight and not be a problem because unlike me, if I lose weight, like I lost some weight about 2 years ago, about 3 years ago, I started losing some weight because my doctor told me I was too big for my age. I was working out and everything. She says, "No, you got to lose weight." So I did, and I got this. So, but he's in his 30s. He lost the weight, and his skin shrunk back to normal.
It
You know?
happens to
Oh
me. When
yeah,
I lose weight, I lose it my face, and then I have more wrinkles, deeper wrinkles. So
you're
sometimes
not
it's
the only
better to
one. Me
keep the
too.
chubby cheeks. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
funny. That's funny. Um, let's see. What was the biggest surprise reading or f-
Really,
revelation or anything that came through to you? What was a surprise to you? Anything
well,
that you read
regarding anything
regarding anything?
or the
Yeah.
Trumps. Oh,
Oh, well, we could go on forever with that,
yeah,
but
I know.
anything. Yeah, anything.
What was the biggest? That I okay. Well, yeah, I know. Uh, it has to do with Trump. I mean, when this is something everyone experience when somebody's in your family is going to pass, and those things, but the biggest thing was after when I realized that Trump wanted to become president for life, and I knew that I was saying this for a long time, and I realized Republicans were going to go along with him. I said that at that time. In fact, I published a video, but after that, I'm like, "Are you crazy? This is America. This can't happen." I mean, even the thought of an American or who happens to become president to think that they are going to be able to remain president for life is so foreign. It's not, this, you may be a little, but I said, no, I'm going to do the video anyway because that's what I felt. So now looking back, that was the biggest shock to me, that I said it and they're proving me wrong. I mean, right, correct every day.
I agree. I think that more is going to come out that proves that point. But I agree that he did want to be a dictator, and I actually
Yeah.
felt that from pretty much when he won. But I'm not as psychic as you or anybody else. But I
No, you
just felt
are.
like, yeah, yeah,
Regardless of how you got it,
right,
right?
right. I just felt that way. Yeah,
Yes.
and he follows the people that do that, like Putin and like Kim Jong-un and others that live in that sort of Bolsonaro.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why he loved those guys so much, and also he was learning how they got there.
he did. He
Do
learned
you
the ropes
remember?
from them.
Do you
Yes.
remember he said once he admired how Kim Jong Un's dad was able to give the presidency to Kim Jong Un, and how Kim Jong Un was able to kill all these people and stay in power. Do you remember him saying something like that? Yeah, he to him, he was very impressed with it, and he believed me. And I said that on my streams. if Trump had no qualm, and you know what, he's still trying to figure out a way to do it. If he doesn't care how many people die, and you know something, Republicans are as craven as he is, they'll go along with it. He will do
Yeah.
it to become president again. Yeah.
They go along with it, and sometimes I think it's from fear because they don't want to, be chewed out by him because
Right.
there's some fear going on there that everybody will. But they just had on the weekend they had a big rally in Kentucky where they expected 10,000 people and 300 people came. I know. So I don't know if it's that things are waning or people are sick or
No,
it's interesting though.
It's waning. Okay,
It is.
because I feel people are catching up with Trump's grifting abilities and his attitude. And also, if you notice, intuitively, I feel that's a good indication of what's to come. A lot of people are dying from COVID, and they were all saying, it was like the flu, or it's a hoax. And now a lot of them are dying. And these people are saying, wait a minute, it's Republicans' fault. It's basically Trump started the whole thing. They are making the connection. And they are getting vaccinated and less people are dying. So it's the same thing I feel that's going to happen or is happening. They no longer have faith like they used to before on Trump. And I feel the same thing is happening to the Republican Party. Because
I agree with you.
There's a correlation there between people getting vaccinated and him losing steam, Trump, that is.
Well, remember when he was at his rally, I can't remember where it was, and he said he got the vaccination, but you have to do what you want to do, and everybody booed him. And I thought, Trump's afraid of them.
Yes, you're right.
We have a lot of fear chains here going on,
Yeah.
And that right after that, he came out and said, if there is another shot, I'm not going to take it.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, you're right. He did say that. And
I think it was because they booed him. I think that's why, because
That's exactly why. It is because they booed him. And also he thought, he had more control over his followers. That day was a shock to him, the way they booed him. And that's why he backed off immediately. He didn't continue, to talking about they should go out and get vaccinated. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel people are saying Trump is in charge of the base. I don't think so. No.
I agree with you 100%. I do. Yeah. And but a lot of them are really still loving Don Jr. for some reason. And that guy is totally bananas.
Oh my God.
I know.
The entire Trump family, they are all the same. Yes. They are all the same. And Trump Jr., Don Jr. is a con artist too.
Oh, he is.
And, I don't feel he will be able to carry his father's torch, though. His father, when you spend your entire life, he's about 74 now, conning people. And Don Jr. has been doing it maybe for the past 15 years. I mean, they all do it. But he doesn't have the charisma of his ability to lie like his dad. He's a liar. They all are.
Yeah.
But for Trump, the father, it's an art. Oh my God.
It is an art. Well, it is, except when you're awake and you know that it isn't an art because he doesn't ever convince me or a lot of other people.
Well,
of what he's
enough
saying.
people,
Yeah.
how many people voted for him? Yes, 70-something million people voted for him. They believed him.
They did.
You
I
know,
know.
it is something that it's terrible. It says oh my God, something really bad about us.
It
You know what
does.
I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
It's education, because the other day they were saying the majority of Trump supporters are not, well, they didn't go too far in school. They are not college educated. About 40 to 50% are college educated, and the majority of the rest, they're not well educated. So that's why I said it says something about us, because you would think in this country, with everything at our disposal, okay, libraries in every corner, you don't even have to leave your house now. You can go on your computer, you read and buy any book you want. You know what I mean? And for people, I mean, there is not a situation people have to work if they have a family. Some of them are working, but some of them are lazy too. You know what I mean? To believe everything that Trump say, you can, just open your browser and, well, some of them, according to reports, that they don't have broadband in certain areas, they don't have internet, or at least it's slow. But a lot of them have cell phones. It may be slow, but they can scroll. You know, they know where to
Re-
go when they have to find
It
out
remi-
what the next
well,
MAGA
Milo,
rally is. Yes.
it's not any different than it was in 1965. I remember as a kid going down the coast, East Coast,
Yeah.
through South Carolina, North Carolina, and seeing shacks with bathtubs on the front porch. Really poor, poor, poor. But there was a Cadillac
Oh
in the
yeah. I'm
yard.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not surprised.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it
So
was their priority. That was their priority. Or you
exactly.
later you'll see big satellite dishes, instead, or something
Oh
that is so
yes.
different. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But
So
in those areas, and also jobs, they don't pay well. I was
true.
surprised
Yep.
when I was in Georgia to get my car fixed. It would cost half in Georgia. I don't know about around. No, not around here. Around here is not that cheap. What it would cost me when I was in Jersey. I was talking to my sister about that, but it's because she told me, because her husband is in the military. So, but she was telling me that they don't pay either, the jobs over there in Georgia. No, they don't pay very well. That's why,
That's
everything
true.
is cheaper. Yeah.
It's cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Because they screw their employees,
Oh my
unfortunately.
God. Yeah.
I'm a professor of English and I have a lot of students from all different walks of life. And
Okay.
I don't think you have to go to college or be college educated to be
No.
critical thinkers, to be aware of your surroundings and what's going on. I mean, I
Exactly.
never say everybody has to go to college, but
Right.
I think that, if you can remain open, and I heard you say the words today on your own show this morning, critical thinking. There's no critical thinking going on in many
No,
cases.
they
Yeah,
don't. That's the problem. That's
right.
why I said, everything is, at our fingertips in this country. Because if I remember when I was growing up, sometimes we couldn't find regular, notebook papers to write on. At least a couple of times I remember. You know what I used to write on? I used to take until we could go to a store where they have regular notebooks. I would write I would take a couple of paper bags from my mom's store. I write on them until I can, go a place, where I can find the regular notebooks. Yeah.
Yes, and we
So
had to use paper bags. Remember I don't know, you're probably not as old as I am, but we had to cover our
that's
books with paper bags.
we used to do that too.
They do? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We used to do the
Yeah.
same thing, but every once in a while, I couldn't find paper.
It's a
Like in
good
this country,
substitute. Yeah.
you go to the front office or something, it's free. You know, I mean, you want to do research, the libraries are on the corner. Where I mean, I'm basing everything here from where I grew up at how challenging it was. I mean, the places that you are saying you drove by, they have the commode in front on the front porch, but there's a Cadillac there. They can drive to the library. They're not doing it. You know what I mean? So
Yes, I do. Yep,
yeah,
absolutely. So I want to wind up here. I have two more quick questions,
sure.
and I'll let you have your day back. I want to know what the heck Devin Nunes is up to. Do you know? Because he
Devin
was like,
Nunes, he's busy suing people.
okay, okay. We
He's
don't hear anything from him. He's out in the cow field, I think.
he's okay. Last week he was suing somebody from CNN. He tried to sue Rachel Maddow. He lost, and he had to pay her court fee and lawyer's fee. Now he's trying to sue somebody at CNN, and intuitively I feel like saying he's praying that he doesn't get into January 6th legal problems. I feel he will. I don't. I predicted this a long time ago. Devin Nunes is going to have to answer for certain things. Yeah,
Devin, Jordan,
all of them.
Getz, all of them. Every
Yeah.
one of them. Margie. Oh,
Oh
goodness.
my God.
Oh, God. I know.
Yeah.
It makes me sad to see that kind of a person in a elevated position. But
Yeah.
okay, so my last question is,
Sure.
if you're aware, there's going to be a women's march in
Yes.
on October 2nd.
Second.
Yeah,
Yes.
the 2nd of October, and I'm planning on walking here in Seattle. But I'm wondering, is it going to be helpful in any way? Do you think? Do you see?
Absolutely.
Oh, it will. Okay.
I
Yeah.
remember predicted that. I said women were going to take to the streets, and you know, you'll be surprised how effective or how much those things influence people in power, and that includes the Supreme Court. Okay, like right now, they are very suspicious and they're looking to see, how people feel about them after that fiasco. They allow the Texas law to stand. They didn't do anything about it. Oh yeah, they're having major discussions among themselves about how they are perceived and also whether they made a mistake. And they're going to have to make an effort not to be perceived as partisans. Oh, there is a lot going on behind the doors at the Supreme Court. You'll be surprised. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
marches and oh yeah. I mean, because it's that's how everything starts.
Sure it
People
does.
take
Yep.
people take to the
Grassroots.
streets, and
That's right.
exactly when once that happens, you have a problem.
Yeah. Well,
Wait a
look at
minute.
with George
Let me
Floyd,
say one
it
more
went
thing.
international. With
Exactly.
George Floyd,
But
that was
do you remember what? I think I'm right. What set the tone for Trump? The very first thing that happened when he took office, there was a major women's march in D.C.
yes. This is
Yeah.
I got a pink hat with ears on it. It's called a pussy hat. That's what we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it again, Milo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank God. Yes, I think
Yeah.
it's going to be. Yes, it's going to be have a major influence on
Right.
how politicians do the job, and also the Senate. Everyone, absolutely, no doubt
That's
about
awesome.
it.
That's
All
awesome.
right.
Well, I just want to tell people about this show that I watch. I don't know if you guys ever watched this show called The Good Fight. It's
No.
very funny. If you go back to the beginning, I mean, they go into Trump with the women urinating on the mattress in Russia. They go back they have all this stuff interwoven in this particular show.
Really?
And it's very good. And I just watched the last season, and it was all about January 6th in a way. I mean, it's underneath sometimes, but you're getting the point that,
Okay.
what's going on is trying to mirror what's going on in society. So it's a really good show. If you get a chance to watch it, it's called The Good
Absolutely.
Fight. Yeah.
I've heard the name, but I never really because I'm so
Sure.
busy doing things.
Oh, I know. This
I
is
have to
worth
check
it,
it
I
out.
think. Yeah, you can stream it. Anyway,
Yes.
please go over and sign up for Milou's channel. He's
Oh,
wonderful. He
thank
does
you
a
very much.
noontime Eastern show every day, and he does the nighttime shows. He does a Saturday show, and
Yes. And
yes,
thank you for
thank
having
you.
me. I appreciate it. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone,
and thank
for
you to everybody
supporting
who
us.
came. Yes,
We
thank
appreciate
you
it.
so
Thank you
much.
very much.
You have a
I'll
great
see you
day,
soon.
everybody.
You too.
Yep.
Thank you. Take care.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Okay, I gotta find my